What if everything you buy, your phone, your groceries, even your rent, suddenly cost just a penny? That's not a sci-fi fantasy. That's the future billionaire investor Marc Andreessen says is coming. The same man who helped launch the modern internet now claims that artificial intelligence will be so powerful it will drag prices down until, quote, everything that costs $100 will sell for a penny. He calls it hyper-deflation, a future where AI becomes so efficient, so productive, that the price of nearly everything collapses to zero. Sounds incredible, right? But here's the twist. Andreessen says this isn't a disaster, it's a breakthrough. He believes that instead of destroying jobs, AI will make every person a super PhD, capable of doing more, creating faster, and producing beyond imagination. A world where machines don't take your job, they upgrade it. But there's something about this claim that doesn't sit right. If everything becomes cheap, if business services, products, even knowledge itself cost almost nothing, who's still making money? Who's still working? And what happens to value when value itself disappears? Andreessen calls it the dawn of abundance. Critics call it the end of the economy as we know it. Both might be right. Because if AI truly makes everything free, the question isn't how rich we'll become. It's whether anything will still matter. And that's where his vision starts to divide the world, between those who believe AI will save humanity and those who fear it's about to make us all obsolete. Marc Andreessen isn't just another tech optimist. He's the man who helped build the modern internet, co-founder of Andreessen Horowitz, the venture capital giant behind companies like Airbnb, Coinbase, and Facebook. When he speaks, Silicon Valley listens. And lately, he's been preaching a vision that sounds almost impossible. In a recent interview, Andreessen said the world is about to enter a new economic era, one driven by artificial intelligence so powerful it will break the laws of money itself. According to him, AI won't just improve productivity. It will multiply it beyond anything humanity's ever seen. He calls it a productivity explosion. Machines will handle design, logistics, analysis, and even creativity. Tasks that once took humans weeks will be done in seconds. Entire industries will move at the speed of thought. In that kind of world, prices can't stay high. When the cost of creating drops to zero, when digital workers never sleep or demand a raise, the price of nearly everything follows. Andreessen told the Cheeky Pint podcast, business services will collapse in price, and things that today cost a lot of money will all of a sudden be cheap or free. To him, that's not chaos, it's liberation. He imagines a future where abundance replaces scarcity, where innovation floods the market, and where anyone, not just billionaires, can access technology once reserved for the elite. Picture it: instant education, on-demand medical advice, unlimited creativity, all at the cost of a few cents. Andreessen argues that fears of AI taking jobs miss the point entirely. He says it's the great economic fallacy of our time to assume that productivity kills prosperity. Instead, he believes that AI will raise the floor for everyone, not by creating new jobs, but by making life so cheap that traditional jobs won't matter as much. A world where no one's poor, because no one needs to be rich. Sounds perfect, right? But utopias have a way of hiding their cracks. Because if everything becomes free, if all value disappears, what happens to meaning, to work, to human purpose itself? And that's where this story turns from hopeful to haunting. At first, Andreessen's theory sounds almost elegant, even logical. If artificial intelligence multiplies human productivity 1,000 times over, then supply skyrockets. And when supply explodes, prices crash. That's the productivity paradox, when progress itself becomes too efficient. Andreessen argues that we're heading into a world of infinite output. AI won't just automate one job, it will automate everything. Design, research, customer service, construction planning, marketing. Even entire businesses will run on algorithms that never sleep. And when machines can generate, build, and sell faster than humans ever could, the price of nearly every service collapses. In Andreessen's words, everything that costs $100 will sell for a penny. He sees this not as destruction, but transformation. When goods and services become virtually free, wealth no longer depends on owning factories or writing code. It depends on imagination. In his mind, AI will unleash an economic renaissance, a time when anyone with an idea can bring it to life instantly, without capital, without connections, without permission. A 16-year-old in Kansas could create the next billion-dollar app from their bedroom, not for money, but for curiosity. But here's the question Andreessen never quite answers. What happens to value when everything becomes cheap? If AI can design art, music, and code in seconds, will people still care who made it? Will there be any meaning left in creation when the world is flooded with perfection? Even more troubling, what happens to the jobs that disappear long before this utopia arrives? Andreessen calls fears of unemployment a great economic fallacy. But to millions already watching automation eat their industries, that fear feels less like a fallacy and more like a forecast. Because maybe he's right about the destination, but dangerously wrong about the journey. And the cracks in this vision start showing fast, because while productivity rises, something far more human starts to fall. For every billionaire promising a world of abundance, there's another warning that it could all go wrong. Because when Marc Andreessen says, everything that costs $100 will sell for a penny, people hear something else. Everything that pays $100 might soon pay nothing at all. That's the part Silicon Valley doesn't like to talk about. While Andreessen preaches optimism, other tech leaders are sounding the alarm. Dario Amodei, CEO of Anthropic, one of the world's leading AI companies, says the real threat isn't centuries away, it's 5 years. In a recent interview, he warned that AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs before most governments even understand what's happening. He called it a silent replacement wave, not dramatic, not overnight, but unstoppable. Then there's Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, the company powering the AI boom itself. Even he admits everybody's job will be changed. But what he doesn't say is whether everyone will still have one. IBM's Arvind Krishna tries to sound more hopeful, saying AI will be additive to employment. Yet in the same breath, he admits clerical and support jobs will vanish entirely. Different words, same truth. The old economy is dying, and no one agrees on what replaces it. Because here's the paradox no algorithm can fix. If AI makes everything cheap but destroys millions of paychecks in the process, who's left to buy anything at all? Andreessen says it won't matter because AI will make life itself inexpensive. But people don't just live on goods and services, they live on purpose. When your job disappears, it's not just a paycheck that's gone. It's your reason to get up in the morning. It's your sense of worth, of belonging, of control. And that's what AI threatens most, not our income, but our identity. Because what happens when the machines take over, not because they have to, but because we let them? And that's where Andreessen's utopia starts to crack. Because if the world becomes free, but people have no place in it, is that really freedom at all? Andreessen's dream sounds like paradise, a world of limitless supply, endless abundance, and near zero cost. But if everything is cheap, what's left that's worth anything? That's the paradox hiding inside the promise of free. When prices collapse, value doesn't just disappear from markets. It disappears from meaning. In Andreessen's version of the future, AI makes every service instant, every product perfect, every experience affordable. But economies don't survive on perfection. They survive on exchange. If no one needs to pay for anything, who keeps producing? Who keeps innovating when the reward for effort is gone? It's what economists call the deflation spiral, a loop where falling prices kill profits, profits kill jobs, and jobs kill demand. It's the nightmare opposite of inflation, a world drowning in abundance but starved for purpose. Imagine this: an AI that can write your book, design your business, record your music, and market it in seconds, for free. But now there's a billion books, a billion songs, a billion brands, all perfect, all identical, all forgotten. When everything becomes infinite, attention becomes the only scarce resource left, and in that world, whoever controls the algorithms that choose what we see, controls everything. Andreessen sees freedom in AI abundance. But the hidden truth is that freedom without scarcity might just be another kind of cage. A world where nothing costs money, but everything costs meaning. And this isn't just theory. It's already starting. Automation is rewriting the job market. AI tools are replacing freelancers, designers, coders, quietly, efficiently, permanently. The question isn't when it will happen. It's how far it will go. Because if AI truly makes everything free, the most valuable thing left might be the one thing no machine can imitate: being human. But Andreessen insists the story doesn't end in collapse. He believes AI isn't humanity's replacement, it's our amplifier. And his next claim might be the boldest one yet. Just when the world starts panicking about AI taking over, Marc Andreessen steps back into the spotlight and says everyone's got it backwards. In his view, AI isn't replacing us. It's upgrading us. He calls it the ultimate force multiplier, a tool that doesn't erase human ability, but expands it beyond recognition. In his words, AI just makes every individual a super PhD in every topic. To Andreessen, this isn't the end of human relevance, it's the next stage of evolution. A future where anyone can learn, create, and build at the speed of thought. Where an artist with no training can paint like Da Vinci. Where a small-town inventor can outthink global corporations. He says AI will take what we already do and make it limitless. Every teacher becomes a genius tutor. Every entrepreneur becomes a visionary CEO. Every creator becomes a one-person studio. And for a moment, it's hard not to believe him. He points to history, the Industrial Revolution, the Internet boom. Every time technology replaced old jobs, new industries rose to take their place. Yes, disruption was painful, but it was also progress. Andreessen believes this time will be no different. AI, he says, won't erase humanity. It'll amplify it. It'll turn ordinary people into extraordinary creators. And for the first time in history, the tools of genius will be in everyone's hands. It's an inspiring idea, a world where human potential finally outpaces human limitation. But even as he says it, the cracks are still there. Because not everyone will have the same access, the same education, the same safety net. And in a world moving this fast, even the smallest gap could become a canyon. Andreessen paints AI as a rising tide lifting all boats. But in every rising tide, some boats still sink. And that's where his vision meets its most dangerous question yet. What happens when only a few control the power to rewrite reality itself? Every revolution promises equality. But if history teaches anything, it's that technology doesn't erase power. It reshapes it. Andreessen dreams of a world where AI gives everyone the same tools, where every human becomes superhuman. But there's a quiet truth he rarely says out loud. Those who build the machines still own them. Think about it. The servers, the data, the models, all controlled by the same few corporations already running the digital world. Microsoft, Google, OpenAI, Amazon. The very companies that promise to democratize AI are the ones selling access to it. So yes, AI might make creation cheap, but owning creation? That's getting more expensive than ever. It's the illusion of equality. Everyone gets the power, but only a handful get the profit. Andreessen says we're entering an age of abundance, but abundance under ownership is still scarcity, just hidden behind a subscription fee. And while the billionaires celebrate hyper-deflation, millions still struggle with inflation, rent, and survival. It's not that their world is getting cheaper, it's that someone else's world is getting cheaper to control. Behind every glowing AI demo and viral success story is a new kind of dependence. On data centers we don't own, on code we can't see, on systems that decide what's real before we even question it. Andreessen calls it empowerment. But to many, it feels like quiet capture. A velvet revolution where freedom comes with a login screen. Because when a handful of companies decide what the world learns, buys, or believes, is that progress, or just a new kind of empire? And that's the haunting irony. AI might make everything cheaper, except the truth. But even as critics warn of control and collapse, Andreessen doesn't back down. He insists that fear is the real enemy. And his final message might be the most shocking of all. Marc Andreessen ends his vision with a challenge, not a prediction. He says fear is the real enemy, not the machines. That AI's power depends on who dares to use it and who hides from it. In his eyes, the future won't be written by artificial intelligence. It'll be written through it. But here's the truth he never quite says. Technology doesn't shape the world by itself. We do. Because every tool, from fire to the internet, carries both promise and peril. It's never just about what it can do, but who decides how it's used. Andreessen sees AI as humanity's greatest leap forward. Others see it as our next great divide. And somewhere in between lies a choice that no algorithm can make for us. A choice between creation and control, between comfort and conscience. Imagine a future where AI works with us, where it heals, teaches, and creates without erasing the human behind it, where power isn't hoarded by the few, but shared by the many, where progress doesn't mean replacing people. It means reimagining what people can become. Because for all its brilliance, artificial intelligence still can't dream, can't hope, can't care. Only we can. And maybe that's the real twist to Andreessen's story. The machines aren't the threat. Our choices are. So when the world finally reaches that moment, when everything that once cost $100 truly sells for a penny, the question won't be what AI can do. It'll be what kind of humans we decide to be.